It's just a laid back vibe, baby. Straight up.
Welcome to Dune House. It is our oceanfront beach house in the Outer Banks, located in Duck, North Carolina, and it's going to be featured in my next design book, my fourth book, called Beach Life. Come on in, I can't wait to show you around. This is my second tour of the house, by the way, because the first time I did it without a mic here, and I got lots of complaints. YouTube will let you know if it's got a problem. And I tried to put music on with it, and it was like super cheesy and didn't work out well. So this time I'm trying it mic'd up. Hopefully the audio is better, and re-releasing the tour so that people can hopefully enjoy it a bit more. I'm so excited to give you a tour of this place today. We renovated it from top to bottom, and here is the after. So when we got our hands on this house, it was not in great shape. It had been a rental for a lot of years. The back deck had fallen off, completely off the house. So we had to do a lot of structural here and really kind of get things functioning before we could get to the pretty layer. But one of the only original things we kept was the front door. I love it. I love the finish. I love the patina. And I felt like it sort of set the tone for the rest of the house. So that's our very vintage front door. We have been renovating this baby for quite some time, and we were planning on selling it, but now we've kept it as a rental property. So it's available on laurenleesproperties.com, and we're really loving the process of renting it out to people. So this is the foyer, and there has been a lot of rearranging in this house. So we moved the stairs from basically right where the camera is positioned to here, which is really great. We just kind of tucked them in and went upstairs, and we paneled the stairs to kind of make it cohesive and continue the cypress paneling throughout. We did a lot of nautical lights throughout the house. You'll see those cage lanterns going on, and the first one is here in the foyer. The powder room used to be over there, and this used to be stairs going down to the outside, which we felt like we didn't need because we already had stairs going outside in the front and the back. So the powder room got moved over here, and this is a really fun little room. We planked the walls in vertical planking, making sure to ask our contractor to please leave gaps, mess up. I always say, have some drinks before you do our woodwork, because we do not want it to be perfect. And so they did that here, and we painted it with milk paint. We did the ceiling as well. The sink I love here. It's just this little... The sink is a galvanized bucket with these cool little rope handles, and the faucet is actually just copper piping. I love this artwork here. It's this sailor dancing with a seal, this kind of vintage quirky thing. That's the type of thing I just love to collect. So we collected a lot of vintage artwork and accessories for the house. One of the things I like to do a lot in the houses that I design is to go for custom vent covers. So this air return used to just have like your basic vent cover on it, but we had this custom metal one made in this really fun sort of vintage pattern. And that's something I do a lot because it just makes the house feel more special, a little bit more custom, and you don't have to look at an eyesore, you get to look at something cool and interesting. We had some major changes in this part of the house. Right where the dining table is, there actually used to be no loft above, and a huge set of stairs right here that basically you walked right into the house and you hit those stairs. The first time I walked in there, we just knew we had to get rid of those stairs because this view is so amazing when you come in. We are right up on the dune, hence the name Dune House, and we fell in love with that view just from the real estate photos. We bought the house sight unseen, saw the house, saw the location, saw the price, made an offer, and I think had a ratified contract within 45 minutes, something, an hour. It was crazy. But bought the house sight unseen, and were so pleasantly surprised when we came to the house and saw it was even more beautiful than it was in the pictures. So we took these stairs that used to be here blocking our beautiful view and moved them over to the foyer where you saw the new stairs went. Then we took that powder room, moved it over to the powder room you just saw. And then we felt like the house needed a couple of more sort of auxiliary spaces for people to hang out in. So then we added this whole loft up here, which added a lot of good square footage, and another little living room upstairs that we call the sky bar. And I'll show you that in a little bit. The floors throughout the house are done in a white oak 4.5-inch plank. It's from my collection with Wellborn Right. I helped customize all of the finishes in our collection, and they're just gorgeous. They have a natural oil finish to them, and they do not have that polyurethane kind of yellow look that I don't love, and they're all natural, better for you, better for the environment. And this color, I named it Dune, which is actually really fun. I had created the floors and the color before I even found the house, and it just happened to be the exact color that worked perfectly in this house. It's kind of crazy. But we love, love, love these floors. They get patina, they get better with age. I am not an everything needs to stay perfect kind of person. I like for things to kind of get life impressions on them. People really sort of live in houses and not worry about it and let things get old, get the patina that makes things feel really beautiful and authentic and real. So check out these views. Sea oats are out right now. They come out later in the summer and they're so pretty. Sea oats are, you'll see a little theme happening throughout. We did a lot of rearranging, and we took the kitchen, which used to be over there, and we moved it to the main space, and we opened it up so you could really be in the kitchen and be a part of everything. It took the dining area, which used to be over here, and put it underneath of our loft area. So we got this really long table here. I think it's over 10 feet long, and a bunch of chairs, wishbone chairs, and this really cool raffia light. Did a lot of raffia throughout the house. This great room is just one of the best rooms in the house. It's got these incredible, almost 180 views going on. It feels like the bow of a boat in here. A lot of this paneling is original, the original cypress that was in the house, but what we did was we took it and we sanded it down to give it a more raw, natural look. That's something I do a lot. I don't love the shiny, orangey, yellow polyurethane look, but I do love how just raw wood sort of feels to the hand. So it was only in certain areas, and we took it and had the entire room paneled so that it felt cohesive and so that it just continued throughout the entire space. It also made it feel less chopped up. When you kind of have paneling and then you're hitting drywall, it sort of stops your eye. So when you continue that same material all around, it just feels warm and enveloping and just much cozier. We retiled the original fireplace, didn't change the insert, and we swapped out the old boat tiles with this raw terracotta tile. Each tile is sort of its own color, and I love that. You will notice a lot of pink throughout this house. We've got these sort of tans and these pinks and these peaches, and I pulled that throughout the entire house. The sand in duck is a little bit more pinky and rosy and tan than the sand in Kerala, which is whiter. Kerala is where we live. So when I saw that really beautiful sort of pinkish tan sand, I wanted to pull that into the house because the house is so close to the dunes. I wanted to pull that palette in and sort of make the spaces feel cohesive and bring the outside in. So you'll see a lot of pinks in this house and those sort of pinky tans and peach colors. And that was all inspired by the sand that's right outside the doors. One of the things for me that is important in decorating is I don't like to take myself too seriously. I don't like to take decorating too seriously. So we have had this kitschy sea captain painting for I don't know how many years. I got him from a thrift store and never really knew what to do with him. And I thought, you know what, let's put him in this more sophisticated type house and just let him be this little quirky vintage piece that hangs in a really important spot, which is over the mantle, just to have some fun with it. It's a fun, silly little piece, and I feel like he's finally found his home right by the ocean in a house that he matches. Here you can see the overall room. You can see how much square footage that loft added, and you can see how the dining room fits kind of perfectly underneath of it. And you can see this sofa, which I love. It's called the Glad sofa. I designed it for my collection with Taylor King. I'm just gonna sit here. This is the most comfortable sofa. Okay, there's a couple that I like just as much, but this is one of the most comfortable sofas. I love it. It is done in a linen, and the sofa itself is upholstered, but the cushion covers for all the cushions can go right in your washing machine, which we felt like was really important for a rental property, just to be able to freshen things up every now and then or fix any accidents. So super deep. It's a good cuddler, a good spooning sofa, if you will, and just love it. This coffee table is by my friend Leanne Ford for Crate and Barrel. These chairs are also from my collection with Taylor King, and they are done in a fully machine washable slipcover. So they're in sort of a beachy sailcloth, and the entire thing go in the washing machine. And I mean, we've had renters in here and they actually look awesome. They haven't gotten washed yet. But should something happen, they can get washed.
You match the living room.
I matched the living room, yes. It's a good match.
The chairs and the couch.
Don't think I didn't think about that when I picked this outfit out. The rugs are a combination of jute from my Rugs USA collection with a vintage, really, really beautiful vintage pinky peach, the whole Dune palette situation going on, vintage rug from Lauren Lease & Co., our vintage rug shop. I often love to layer natural fiber rugs with patterned rugs over them. In this case, I wanted to have my layering, my top layer be a vintage rug because it adds so much patina and personality in this space. The end tables over here are from my collection with Woodbridge Furniture, and I love doing end tables with shelves on them, especially in houses with kids or houses like this, a beach house, because you can really pile messes into them and sort of hide them away and clean up quickly. We even have vintage fabrics and materials in a lot of the pillows in the house. These are actually both vintage rugs that we had made into pillows. This is one of my favorite spots in the house. You will hear me say that a lot, but I love this spot. We've stayed here, we've spent some time here, and this woven leather chase is just such a comfortable spot. You can just hang out and look at the water, read a book, and feel, I don't know, just removed from it all. It's just such a good spot. In large living spaces, I love taking a little corner or a spot and sort of making a little one-off private spot for somebody to go read a book while conversations may be going on. We had to completely redo all the decks in the house. As I mentioned, this one was actually falling apart. And this little dune walk-up bridge is just such a pretty spot. I went with a really, really large sculptural, but very visually light chandelier in the space. I wanted to be able to see the views through it, but also have something large enough to make an impact and be able to hold its own in a room of this size. We've got a little eating spot out here for just a couple of people to enjoy maybe appetizers and drinks. And come on into the kitchen. This is an awesome working kitchen. I have made some pretty intense meals here for our family of 7, and it is stocked. One of the things that was really fun about this house and turning it into a rental property was buying all the pots and pans and the plates. I'm gonna show you, they kind of match perfectly. I couldn't believe it. Look at this color. It's like dune sand, it's perfect. So that was really fun for me to get to, stock the house. And I've never before in my life gotten to do my own house, everything new in the kitchen and everything nice and get it all at once. So that was really fun here. And it's not all new, there's actually a lot of vintage as well. But this kitchen is just really, really functional. This house sleeps 14 people, so I did double dishwashers, very, very important. We've got multiple trash cans. And this used to be the dining room and the kitchen used to be over there, and we were able to expand the kitchen in doing that. And one of the things we got was this really nice big bank of windows, and you have ocean views not only from the ocean side but even from the side of this house, and you can just see them. It's really, really pretty. I did a brass faucet and a lot of brass throughout the entire house to bring that sort of warm vintage feel into the house. These bar stools are, again, more of the woven elements that you're seeing throughout the house, and same with these pendants up here. They are really, really comfortable. The kitchen cabinets are from my collection with Unique Kitchens and Baths. I designed cabinetry for them, and this is from our Spartan collection. What I love about these cabinets is we did not do hardware for these. We just did these really cool little finger pull cutouts, which keep it really minimal and simple for a beach house. The color on the cabinets is a custom color in my collection, and we named it Dune, shocking. It is that almost exact peachy pink color that you're seeing in some of the grains of sand out on the dunes. So I wanted to just really bring that throughout the house. You'll also notice that this is the color we took and put on all of the doors and any of the painted woodwork in the house, because I wanted to pull that sort of peachy tan color throughout the entire home. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about the island. This is an antique English piece. It brings in a ton of patina. That is one of the things I think is so important when you're going with sort of a sweeter color like this peachy, tan, pinky color. I then wanted something to ground it, to add that earthiness that I love. So this really, really messed up, gorgeous old work table, this English work table really does that. It has such a smooth feel to the hand too, and I really love that. It just can get beaten up and it just gets better and better with age. This is the good old branch base from Lauren Lease & Co. I don't think I ever do a house without it because it is so big, so substantial. It's such a great price, and everything looks beautiful in it. You'll probably recognize the tile in the backsplash is the same unglazed terracotta that we did in the tile over by the fireplace. Again, that's just pulling our palette through and making sure that things flow and feel cohesive. The hood is just a really simple drywall hood. Very, very inexpensive to do this. It's a trick I use a lot when I'm on a budget, which I was on this house. So this was a good savings. Because we had so much countertop space in this kitchen, so many spots to work, we had the peninsula, the island, and then all of the space here near the sink, I decided to do countertop hutches instead of upper cabinets. Countertop hutches are great because you gain that additional 18 inches up that you would normally lose when you have floating cabinets above. So it's a lot of additional storage, which we needed in the kitchen more than we needed additional countertop space. I thought these little drawers were fun. I had an antique piece at home that I based this design off of, and this time, of course, we did the finger pulls, and they just fit extra little things, like little glasses in here. Really, really stocked this kitchen. I might have gone overboard in the quantity of the stuff that we had, but I didn't know. I didn't want to get reviews saying you don't have enough stuff. So I put a lot of thought into accessorizing this house. You'll see a lot of horse artwork because there are wild horses around here, and you'll see even the toaster kind of goes with the vibe of the house. Got some items from our shop, vintage and new pieces from the Lauren Lease & Co. shop that really just kind of make the house feel collected and lived in. The tile is very close in color to the flooring throughout the house in tone. I didn't want there to be a big transition between the spaces, and it's just a porcelain tile laid in a brick pattern. The rug is a jute rug from my collection with Rugs USA and knows how to take a beating in the kitchen. The back of this peninsula had to do a lot of work. So we've got trash recycling in here, have our microwave drawer here. I love those. And then tons of storage here. We've got cabinets, drawers. A lot of people sleep here. Let's move on to the den now, and it's behind door number 2. We had this barn door made to blend right in with the cypress paneling, and we took what was once the kitchen and turned it into a den. This den is such a cozy spot to hang out. When we stay here as a family, we all just kind of pile up on the big sectional. It's actually an IKEA sectional that I sort of upgraded with down cushions in the back to make more comfortable. These shades are just really inexpensive, simple matchstick shades from Amazon, and we actually cut them down to fit the windows. It's a trick we do when we're trying to save money on window treatments. I love the roll-up matchstick shades because they have that vintage feel that I love so much. They're not as tailored and perfect as a lot of the shades that are out on the market, and they're a little bit wonky. We did the same planking that we did in the powder room, but this time we did it horizontally, and we planked the entire room, including the ceiling again. This is also milk paint, so it has that sort of imperfect look to it as well, and it's white, but there's a little bit of a pink in it. I'm not sure if you can see on the screen, but it's barely there. I collected both vintage and new artwork for this space. My team was amazing in finding these for me. There are some actual drawings mixed in here, and then there are some reproductions. So this looks like a pencil drawing, but it's actually from Etsy, and we just printed it out and put it in vintage frames. So when I'm trying to save money, that's something I will do, is sort of mix in the new pieces with the old ones, and when you look at them as a full collection, they read as if they're actually old. I'm seeing this one is sideways now. Hold on. The rugs in here are also a combination of vintage and new. The new jute rug is from my collection with Rugs USA, and the vintage one is from the Lauren Lease & Co. Vintage Rug Shop. Let's head on into the primary suite on the first floor. The primary suite on the first floor walks out to the deck and then, of course, right out to the dunes. It is such a magical room. You are really right with the ocean in here. We did a king bed in all of the adult rooms in the house. So there are 2 kid rooms and then 3 king bedrooms in the house. But this one is a primary suite with its own bathroom off of it. And let's talk about this bed. I designed this bed for my collection with Woodbridge Furniture, and it is based off of the old colonial rope beds. I named it the saltwater bed because I felt like it was the perfect coastal bed. It comes in a couple of different colors. Here I did it in our lime wash finish because again, it's got that light sort of worn wood that works really well here at Dune House. In colonial times, they used to have ropes underneath of their mattresses, and they would tighten the ropes before they went to bed at night. And that's where the saying sleep tight comes from, because you would tighten up your ropes and then your bed wouldn't sag as much and you would sleep better. So these are just decorative. They are not functional. We have a little box spring under here called a bunky board. I think we did a 3 or a 4 incher under there. That's another thing that's really interesting about this bed, and something you might not notice, but I will get into for you. The bed frame is much higher off of the ground than your typical bed these days. This looks more like a real antique bed, which had, maybe 14 to 20 inches underneath of the bed frame. So that's something we did here. And in order to accommodate that, instead of using a typical box spring for this bed, we use what's called a bunky board. It's sort of a little shallow, tiny box spring. The wall in here is an interesting story. So it used to be this is the original cypress paneling, which used to have the polyurethane on it and sort of the orangey look to it. And then we sanded it down and then painted over it with a white paint, and then sanded that down to get the sort of lime wash look that you're seeing here. I love it. It has such a coastal feel to it, and it's just feels really good to the hand. This little pray for surf sign is another something that you'll see sort of in all the bedrooms around here. Again, I didn't want this place to take itself too seriously, so I did fun little things. So the idea is pray for surf and get out there. The bed has these curves and it's antique, and it could be thought of as a bit more formal, laid back in its finish, of course, but it is a bit more formal than a clean lined bed would be. This sign here that's just really kind of fun and completely different from this bed to sort of create that juxtaposition of serious and then not so serious and playful and just more sophisticated. This wallpaper was such a sort of kismet find. I wanted something that sort of had these beige tones from the sea oats outside that are blowing right now as I speak. And it's a peel and stick. Very, very simple to apply. Went up in a couple of hours. Our team did a great job, and it looks so much like the sea oats that are right outside the doors. One of my tricks in bedrooms, and especially rentals like this where you want a lot of storage space, is instead of nightstands, I like to actually do dressers on either side of the bed. 36 inches is usually my go-to size, and we were able to just squeeze that in here. Okay, come on into the bathroom. We made a lot of changes here. I think originally you used to enter the bathroom somewhere around here. We changed the opening. It was a really tiny bathroom, but we were lucky enough that there was a storage room in the front of the house, so we got rid of the storage room and made the primary bathroom pretty big. So this used to be the storage room, and it is now the primary bathroom. We were able to get a soaking tub in here, a really large front window with shades on it, and a double vanity. Floors are a cracked travertine tile, and that is on both the main floors and on the shower floors. I did that for a cohesiveness and for a sense of flow from the shower to the bathroom. I wanted it to really just kind of feel like the floors continued on in there. The shower walls are also a travertine, this time in a 2x4 brick, and the colors match the floors, so it's just really, really simple, and there's no jarring start and stopping for your eye to take in. So it makes it feel really peaceful, calm, and quiet in here. The vanity has a mid-century vibe to it. The top is a Carrara marble. We did a pair of sort of raw wood mirrors here, and then just simple vintage inspired with porcelain-based light fixtures above. And these really simple brass faucets here. I love how they turn on and off. There's a little hot and cold sign on them, and they're ribbed, and you just simply turn them. Kind of cool and unexpected. The laundry room scooted over from its original position next door into the storage area, and it's just small but very, very functional. Lots of storage, and this cute little drying rack here in the corner The tiles are porcelain, but they look like old terracotta, super messed up tile floors, and I just love them. I was hunting for laundry room floors for a long time and then came across these, and they were just perfect. Let's head on upstairs and see the rest of the house. We're originally in the front of the house when you first walked in, but we moved them here to where the powder room once was. We took the stairs straight up and then had them hang a left to get upstairs to the loft. We had the entire space paneled in wood to make the space feel cohesive and continue. And then instead of going up to the little mezzanines, we now have a huge loft space where we can sit, hang out, play games, and look at the beautiful view. This is the loft. I like to call it the sky bar. This is where I pictured getting together with girlfriends and coming up, having wine or making a cocktail and just sitting around this big table and looking out at that incredible view. I have not done that yet, so that needs to be on my little bucket list. Like I mentioned earlier, this did not exist. Mezzanines to nowhere that the bedrooms, you could get to the bedrooms off of. And you can see here the entire space had drywall and it had paneling, but we took the original paneling on the ceiling and we actually whitewashed it because we couldn't get it to the same color as the walls. Overall, this has really become one of our most favorite hangout spots in the entire house. For those of you who were here for our original live walkthrough tour of the first time we saw it, you might remember that there was actually a sauna here in the house when we first saw it, and my daughters had fun playing in it. I'm actually going to try to upload that tour to YouTube so you can see the entire tour of this house before we worked on it, I guess almost 2 years ago now. It took a long time to get this going. But yeah, so the sauna is now gone and we have stairs coming up here as opposed to there. And we added this niche here to hold art, accessories, old books, and just cool things collected. Here's something by Lauren Bowen, who works with us at the studio at Lauren Lease Interiors. The rugs, again, are a layering combo with the jute natural fiber from my collection with Rugs USA underneath and a vintage one from the Lauren Lease & Co. rug shop on top. And just to clarify, you're seeing a lot of jute in this house from my collection with Rugs USA, but they are actually mostly all different rugs. I have a jute obsession, and so there can never be too many jute rugs for me. They all have different weaves and textures and designs on them, so it is more interesting than it probably seems hearing me say, another jute rug. This is our little bar cart. It's mid-century inspired with little leather wrapped poles on it. Many of the accessories throughout the house are from our shop, like this huge demijohn. I have a weakness for them, so there are a lot of them in our shop, Lauren Lease & Co. And I also love these glass beads, sea glass here, perfect color for this house. They're available in the shop, this bowl, the magnifying glasses, just tons of things that we brought in here. I had fun shopping from my own shop. For coffee table books for this massive coffee table. We have really just had the best time hanging out in the space up here. I love this space and kind of can't believe that it didn't exist when we first got the house. The funniest thing about this renovation was when we first bought the house, my husband said, "Don't make this one of your huge renovations." And I said, "I won't." But as soon as I walked in the house, I knew I was not going to be able to keep that promise. Anyway, that is the Sky Bar. Let's head on into the bunk room now. This is one of the coolest rooms in the house. We did a lot of rearranging in these two rooms. We gave the closet to the other bedroom and added a new closet in here. We removed the original bunk beds that were just pieces of furniture and replaced them with 6 separate twin beds in here. I wanted portal windows in the house, and portal windows are not actually code. So my brilliant husband had the idea, which he saw at Awful Arthur's, a restaurant we go to down here all the time. And they had taken regular windows on the exterior of the building and then fit true portals into the wall. So what you're seeing here is actually portals in the drywall, front of the drywall portion, and then true, just non-operable windows on the outside of the house here. Each of the beds has its own nautical light so that the kids can read at night. There is a little light switch to turn that on and off right there, and then an outlet for them as well. The rug is a vintage rug from our Lauren Lease & Co. vintage rug shop. Our contractors built these beds and we used the same wood paneling as we did throughout the rest of the house for the beds themselves. The railings are made out of rope. I wanted the room to feel casual and fun, so I went with mismatched Cantha quilts on all the beds. This is the northeast king bedroom. It is one of the prettiest rooms in here. This peachy pink and the light that it gets off the ocean is just gorgeous. I love it. The northeast view is gorgeous. It's so, so, so beautiful. We get this beautiful sea breeze in here, which I just love so much. See, that's like the romance you feel like you need at the beach. And again, you'll see one of our fun little signs with the cheeky little sayings, stay wild, ocean child. I love that sentiment. Again, I just wanted people to feel like they were here to have fun, not be serious, let go, have fun in the ocean. So I think we all have that little wild ocean child inside of us. And then the nightstands here are the Malm dressers from IKEA. Very cool kind of mid-century bed from Crate and Barrel, and a Cantha quilt that I found. This is from our shop, a grain sack pillow from Lauren Lease & Co. with very large concrete stone look lamps on either side of the bed. They're just very large, spare, and sculptural. And they have a quiet feel to them because they're big, and that sort of adds a slower energy to a space as opposed to a lot of little things. We wanted to leave room and breathing room in this house for guests to come and fill it with their own things. So really tried to keep things intentionally spare and simple in the bedrooms. The rug in this room, shocker, is from my collection with Rugs USA. This is one of the best rugs. Oh my gosh, it's so hard wearing. I'm forgetting the name of it right now, so I will make sure to link to all of this stuff in the description. But it is amazing. It's so great for the beach because the sand kind of dribbles right through it, and you don't have to deal with any sand, and you can just simply lift up and sweep when you need to sweep. But it's so pretty. It feels so good to bare feet, as I'm doing right now. This is a bedroom suite upstairs. We made it private with a pocket door, and it leads to a hallway, and that hallway leads to a bathroom, a trundle bedroom, and a king bedroom. The king bedroom has access to the bathroom from the bedroom itself, and then there's also this hallway access that the trundle bedroom can use in here. When we use this house, Dave and I sleep in that king bedroom, and our daughters sleep in the trundle bed here. And it's really nice because my little one, Aurora, is still coming in at night. So I like the fact that we could sort of close this hallway off, and then she could run to the bedroom, to our bedroom when she needed us at night. This is the southeast bedroom. It's the Don't Give Up the Ship bedroom. I've had that thing for 5 years. I think I bought it when we first bought our little cottage, and it just didn't work out there, but I saved it, and I thought it was perfect in this room. We had a lot of fun in this room mixing sort of colors you wouldn't really expect together. These pinks with these deep blues, and I created this rug for my Rugs USA collection. It is a jute blend rug, and it has this really beautiful pattern on it, and I created this rug specifically for this room. So it's got the peach tones that we have in the walls, and then the deep blues that you're seeing in the Don't Give Up the Ship painting, and I thought it was just kind of a really fun, almost 60s inspired palette in here. The bedspread is a traditional Martha Washington quilt, and the bed is a rattan mid-century inspired bed. The nightstands are also mid-century inspired. They, I think, are Anthropologie and have these really cool little leather handles on them. The curtains are from Anthropologie. They're Amber Lewis, and I love how they blow in the breeze. I will show you that in just a second. The ceilings are the original wood paneling, and then we had to add in new paneling because we removed a closet from this corner and put it over there so we could get a nice squared up room. So we had to match the new paneling with the old paneling. This kind of gives you an idea of the color, that sort of orangey wood that the entire house was. That was the original wood color throughout the entire house. I kept it in this case because I really wanted that patina, and I wanted something kind of like earthy and kind of off and a little bit 60s, 70s weird in here, because again, the walls are very sweet pink, and so I wanted something kind of with a lot of patina and something kind of not so pretty. So there's really not a bad view in this house, but these are amazing. I'm gonna show you that sea breeze. And this is what I was talking about with the curtains just blowing so beautifully. I love them. The beach is fairly empty right now. It's getting cloudy. I love it when it's like this. Oops, lost the curtains. We salvaged the original closet doors from the closet that used to be over in that corner, and we were able to fit them here into this closet. Again, I wanted it to feel old, wanted it to feel original. And then we actually opened up a door here in this wall into the bathroom. So at night, it's kind of nice because you don't have to go out into the hallway. It feels like you have your own private bathroom, although kids may be intruding upon that every now and then, like mine do. So come on into the bathroom. You'll see we did more pink. There is a pink tile on the shower here and a travertine floor with a pinkish tone in it. It's a mosaic, sort of 60s inspired travertine design. The vanity is a floating vanity with a Caesar stone top to it, and the mirror has a shelf, which is really, really functional for renters to have a lot of space to put all of their things. This trundle bedroom, my daughters would say, is their favorite room in the house. The trundle bed is one of the other original things in the house that we kept. It is awesome. It's got this worn wood finish to it, and it of course slides out, and there's an additional twin bed underneath of it. I found this really sweet linen bedding for in here, a little block print paisley on it, and then this really, really romantic ruffle gauze bed skirt here, and just covered the bed in pillows made from vintage earth tone fabrics. Kept it really neutral in here. This wood treatment was originally on the wall. It was that orange tone that you saw elsewhere, and we ended up painting it and then just sort of letting some of the wood come through. The shades are the same shades that you saw in the family room, and again, they just give it that really great kind of vintage vibe that I love. The rug is from my collection with Rugs USA. This one is a washable rug, which is awesome for a kid's bedroom. It's so soft underfoot. It looks kind of antique, but it is actually brand new and very easy to maintain. It's got these browns in it, a tiny, tiny bit of green, but lots of earth tones, which is where I got the pillow palette from. That is it for the tour of Dune House. I hope you enjoyed. I hope the audio was better than last time. And if you like this, please like and subscribe to the channel. We are putting tons of new house tours on the channel, and I cannot wait to share it all with you. Thank you. I'm going to show you the true favorite part of the house, which is actually outside.